this live is just a mental check-in to basically just give you guys updates on what's been going on with me and our dog and everything that's going on. So, and what I did today, etc., etc. Get some ideas from you guys as to like how I can properly honor fate in a way that's meaningful. Hi, twin. Hey, y'all. Hi. So as you guys can, I've been crying, but I wanted to do like a check-in live to just kind of like update you guys, talk to you guys about what's been going on with me, what I did today, stuff like that. Thank you so much, Marie. So our family dog, Fate, was put down yesterday. And it was pretty sudden because in the morning, none of us thought that by, afternoon or whatever. Hi, Buttercup. Thank you for being here. None of us thought that by, afternoon she would be in the vet hospital getting put down. So it's completely sudden. I didn't really get to say bye. I didn't want to be there. So at the same time, that was kind of my choice. And thank you guys, everybody. And today we honored her by going to the beach, which is something that she really would have loved. And I genuinely just miss her, y'all. Like, I don't know if anyone's, like, lost a pet. This is gonna be a sobbing live, by the way. So if you're not okay with, like, or if you're not familiar with the lives where I just come on here and cry, welcome to your first one. So today we went to the beach and she would have loved it and it was really nice and we were able to, honor her that way. And Elliot, who is the black German Shepherd, he seems to be doing like okay in terms of like looking around for her and stuff like that. Pumpkin, however, hi Dalton. Yeah, we lost our dog and like with Pinky, like it just hits home. And so anyways, so we went to the beach today to honor her and like I got in the water a little bit. Like it was, I don't know if it's a lake or what, but we went out of state to go here. And I just pulled up my like pants. I like walked in the water. I saw a crayfish. It was really pretty. Hi Stephanie, thank you. Thank you, very happy Mondays. Yeah, I have this huge knot in my throat. So I do what's called like I call it like the doggy daycare, and basically like it's like my mom dropping off Fate and Elliot here at my house for me to watch them while she's at work. And like I call it doggy daycare because I would like do stuff with them, take them out in the garden. Like I'd wake up to Fate on the bed, like licking my face or like right there on the bed. And obviously, as you guys know, like I deal with a lot of depression and like not feeling good. And this one just hurts. I feel like I lost a friend genuinely because she was there for me all the time. And I don't know, it's one of those times where like I want to say like it's not fair, and I want to say like that because like I feel like she's deserved to live a full life. And I just feel tore up about it. And what happened was that so yesterday and pretty much for the past like month, hold on, let me grab a tissue real quick. Just gonna use these Dollar Tree ones. So for the past like month plus, she's been having like digestional issues. And she would go through periods of having like really loose stool, and she would be also vomiting. They took her to the vet, meaning my mom and my stepdad took her to the vet, and the vet was basically like, everything looks fine, XYZ. So they gave her a lot of probiotics and stuff like that. And basically, thank you guys for being respectful in the chat. And basically they gave her a bunch of probiotics. They gave her like heavy medication at one point because she then had to go back because basically it wasn't getting better. Like nothing that we were doing or the vet was doing was working, and it just kept getting worse. And then eventually, yesterday, and I guess like the day before, she ended up like, and during these episodes, she had like blood coming out, which was why she was rushed to the hospital, XYZ. And so it was traumatizing for my mom and my stepdad. Mind you, I never saw any of this. And so essentially, with this past episode of what happened, it was that. And it was uncontrollable. And it was after antibiotics. It was after, like, another round of medication and everything like that. And essentially, the vet basically was like just advising and telling my mom like what's going on and like what the options are, and essentially like they still didn't even know what exactly was wrong, but they had an idea that they thought it was some sort of cancer, which to me, that's the part where I come in and I say like it's not fair, because it doesn't feel fair. So, and she was such a sweet girl and such a sweet dog, and she was a service animal. She was there for me when I would cry, and she would just jump into my arms, and she was Pumpkin's best friend. So I cry for Pumpkin because I'm like, I don't know, like I tried to tell her yesterday, you know what I mean? But like, how do you tell these things? So I'm making the video that I just posted, and like, she's barking in the clips and stuff, and like Pumpkin is like looking for her, and like in my truck, like her nose prints are like all over the windows from when we would go for car rides together. And I really just didn't expect this to happen right now. Because, like, if y'all don't know, like, my wedding anniversary is tomorrow. So I really just didn't expect this to happen right now. So honestly, it's just it's just caught me off guard, and I'm distraught, and I don't feel like hiding it, so I'm on here, as I do. Thank you guys so much for the love. And yeah, I know like a lot of people know what it's like to lose a friend, to lose an animal that you absolutely loved, or an animal that like gave you purpose, or like made you like get out of bed, you know what I mean? And like gave you purpose and stuff. And like for me, that was Fate. And I loved taking care of her. I loved like caretaking for her, and I loved taking her for car rides and taking her to the horse stable. She loved being there, and all the things, and the dog park. So yeah, I just wanted to say that and just give some story times of like things we had done together. Like, she was a border collie, so she loved to run like in my backyard, and she would do laps, and she would run with Pumpkin, and Pumpkin would, what happened is, my family dog was put down yesterday, after basically like nothing that we were doing was working with whatever was going on with her, which wasn't fair, because isn't fair to me because she was so young. I don't like that. Anyways, so I don't know what I was talking about before. When I'm anxious and stuff, like it's hard for me to keep my train of thought, but Pumpkin like, she doesn't even like other dogs at all. Like, she literally barks at other dogs. She doesn't want to be around other dogs, especially small dogs. She doesn't play at the dog park, none of that. But Fate was like the one dog that like she absolutely loved and like she would like play with and stuff like that. So I feel bad for Pumpkin because like she's already lost like her best friend, and I've had so much loss, and I understand that Pumpkin's like, I get it, it's a dog. I get it that some people feel that way, but like that's not how I feel about my animals like at all. Um and like for Pumpkin, I feel bad that she's already lost like her best friend, essentially, because Elliot, I get her and Elliot are gonna have to like, bond together. But essentially, Fate was like the first dog that Pumpkin ever really like loved and got along with and would play with and like would be excited to see and stuff like that. And um, yeah, so I feel bad for Pumpkin. Um, and yeah, I'm just looking at the chat real quick. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, dogs are so empathetic. Like, Fate was so smart. Like, she would look at you with these eyes and, like, they just looked human. Like, her eyes looked human. She had these, like gorgeous amber eyes that were so smart. Like, she was a border collie, so she was so intelligent. Um, I'm so sorry for your loss, Michael. Let me screenshot this. Someone's saying I could donate to a border collie rescue in her honor, or a shelter, because I don't know what's around here, or make them a doggy care basket. Um, thank you guys for understanding. Um, and I'm reading the chat. Thank you, Ray. So, anyways, that is how we honored Fate today, with her sudden loss yesterday. And so, anyways, the second part to this is that I wanted to come on and like do like a little story time, I guess, because my wedding anniversary is tomorrow. And sorry, the chat is popping off. One second. Dalton says losing any pet is not just losing an animal, whether a cat, dog, lizard, etc. It's like losing a family member. Still haven't grasped Pinky. It's been years since it happened. Right. Amen. So the second part of it is that my wedding anniversary is tomorrow. Tomorrow is May 4th. May the 4th. And I've just been putting off like making a post or like saying anything because I guess it makes it more real. And so I wanted to kind of give like a story time of May 4th and like where I was and what I was doing this time like 6 years ago. So in 2018, I was graduating basic training, and I remember talking with my friends, and I remember like I remember this like childlike joy because I was telling the people in my dorm, like, I want to marry him, because we had been sending letters to each other. And when we finally got to see each other, I remember, like, when we reunited with each other and we were, like, alone for, like, just a second, basically. Like, we both looked at each other and we, like, almost said at the same time, like, let's get married. And it was the happiest time of my life, period, at a discussion. And it was just simply the happiest time of my life. And I remember sitting over a Chipotle bowl because I love Chipotle. And saying to my mom, we want to get married. And my mom took off her set, gave it to me, and was like, this is yours now. We support whatever you want to do. And I remember the feeling, and I remember everything about the day. Like, everything is, like, crystal clear in my mind. That we were in Texas. So the day it was raining, and we went downtown. We went to City Hall. We went downtown, and I remember when they were, like, I remember everything about the building. I can picture, like, the tile color and, like, the walls and, like, everything, and, like, where the staircase was, where they had a plant. And I remember we were getting our paperwork, and it came to me that, like, this is real. And I remember that feeling of just absolute, like, wonder and excitement for the future and happiness and just love. And we got everything at City Hall, and he ended up proposing to me. Even though, you know, I knew the rings were a thing and everything like that. And that's another thing, like, I remember crystal clear, is that even though I knew that we were getting married and everything like that, and y'all, I'm not looking at the camera because I don't want to get sidetracked of my story. So please, like, don't feel bad that I'm reading the chat. But, so he was proposing to me anyway, even though I knew that we were getting married, etc., etc. And I was wearing my uniform, and it's on video. And he turned around, and he got on one knee, and he said, "Mads, hey Mads, like, will you marry me?" Because he would call me Mads because my name is Madison. And in the video, I'm like this, and I give him the biggest kiss and the biggest hug, and it's yes, 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 and I fall into his arms, and like I said, it was the happiest time of my life. And we got married, and when they spoke the vows, and it was in Texas, so it was in Texas, and also me and him, you know, it's not like we had money, you know what I mean? We were getting married at, like, City Hall, and so the officiant, or the person who was doing the marriage, he said the vows, and I really will never forget them, because especially the part where, like, you swear before God to love this person and till death do us part. I don't like that part because it's, for me, it's so much beyond that. It's not till death do us part. It's so much beyond that for me. And so I got married. We got married, and we basically, I went off to more training, and he went back to Maryland, and we ended up eventually getting our way to Virginia, which is where we were for the majority of our time. And I remember getting, like, so, like, bougie on a budget. Like, my very first apartment was with Tyler, and it was a loft apartment, and he picked it out himself. And he said, "I know you're gonna love it." And when I saw it, I was like, just so like wowed by it. And when I saw it, I remember taking a picture and putting it on my Instagram and being like, this is my first apartment, like just so proud. And that apartment is where so many beautiful things happened. And um, that apartment, like, that is the apartment mentioned in So You Want a Cute Apartment. Like, that's the apartment. And so we moved into that loft apartment, and we ended up getting 2 cats. The first was Galileo, because there was a hurricane that came through, and I was scared. And Tyler didn't live with me yet. He wasn't there yet. I was there first. And I was by myself, and I told him, like, I want to get like a cat. And he said, I do, he wanted a cat too. And he's like, I trust you. So I went to the shelter, which I found out was a kill shelter, which I'm glad that I adopted from there, because I didn't know it was a kill shelter. And I remember seeing Galileo for the first time, and he had his tail up, and he was looking at me, and like the way he does. And I remember taking him home and telling Tyler, like, I got a cat, and da 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 da. And once he came, we got Copernicus, and he named both of them. And that's when our little family started. And I can think back to a picture that was taken where we were sitting on the stairs of our first apartment, and Tyler's holding Galileo, and I'm sitting, and we're both smiling. And I'm telling you guys this story because we would have been married, I suppose, 6 years tomorrow, if it's 2018. It would have been 6 years on the dot tomorrow. And there was never, obviously there was never a life in my head where I would think that I'd be doing this alone, or that I would be alone on this day, and that he wouldn't be here. And I keep wishing and praying and hoping that this is some sort of glitch in some sort of simulation, and I'm gonna wake up and everything's gonna be normal. This is just some sort of nightmare or something, but it's not. It's my life, and it hurts on a level that is deep in my heart. And tomorrow I plan on we were gonna go to the water, and we're gonna go to a different place of water because, and I'm sorry that I'm not looking at the chat, but it's because I don't want to lose my train of thought, and I'm just a visual person when I speak. Meaning when I think in pictures. I take pictures in my head, and when I recall memory, it's like a picture. I mentioned in my post yesterday Henry Roofoot, and that is the name of the hotel, the inn room at the First Colony Inn in the Outer Banks, North Carolina, that me and my husband would stay at year after year ever since our little honeymoon that my dad got us to the First Colony Inn. And we were the type of people where we didn't like for things to change. We didn't like for things to change. We liked what we liked, and that was that. And so we stayed in the same hotel, or the same inn room. It was a bed and breakfast, and it was almost on the beach. It had its own beach access. It had bikes, and normally around this time, we'd be going right there. We'd be going to Henry Roofoot, and I'd have it booked for us. And the inn, it's First Colony Inn in the Outer Banks, North Carolina. If anyone wants to look it up, stay there, whatever, see the room. Um, it had pipes on the ceiling, and it had like old wooden furniture, and it gave such like a vintage vibe, which was so on brand for Tyler and I because we loved antiques and old things and old cars and things that had history to them. He loved history itself um, and math and how things were built. And um, this building had been literally moved from one place to another, like way back when, and it was really cool how they did that, and we loved the history of it. And it had a library upstairs, and we would go up to the library and look through the books, and it would be all the wild horses that were on the islands. And my family would go to we went to Ocracoke one year, and Tyler came. Me and Tyler came, and we swung on the swings, and we went out to the beach, and we saw lighthouses together. And I'm scared of heights, so I would grab onto him. And as I climbed the stairs, I'd grab onto him because he wasn't scared of pretty much anything, but I am. And we would go there. We'd see the wild horses because they have a little wild horse place that's closer to Ocracoke down in the Outer Banks. And I have a picture of Tyler and my mom on the fence looking at the horses. And that was our happy place. We would go there for the First Colony Inn. We loved to go to Nag's Head Pizzeria. And we would have almost the same routine every time. We'd go to Nag's Head Pizzeria first, and then we'd go to the Blue Moon Beach Grill second. We figured out this restaurant, Dunes or something, was really good. And from Nag's Head, you can go all the way down, and there's different towns. And one of them is Rodanthe, which we named one of our horses after. And then another one is, so we have there's Nag's Head, then Rodanthe as you go down, and let's see, eventually you get to like Ocracoke down at the bottom, Hatteras Island. We stayed on Hatteras Island one year for Thanksgiving, and I remember I was still in college, and Tyler filmed me because I had to do a speech, and I did a speech about the Corolla horses that are wild horses in the Outer Banks, and he filmed me for it for my speech class. And I remember our room had a hot tub outside of it, and we spent time in there, and it was so fun. And like, Tyler didn't like sand, so he wasn't like a huge like beach person, but he would get in the water, and we had pictures of like us in the water and like him splashing and us like just having fun and like just genuine happiness and joy. And I cry because because I've lost it, essentially. And we went to, so we would stay at the First Colony Inn, and we would do the same thing. So we would go to the aquarium, which is on Manteo Island, and it's near Nag's Head. It's like right beneath Nag's Head. And it's beneath Nag's Head, and it's a little island. And on that island, there's two places that are absolutely dear to me, but I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to go back. But I want to, because I want to do amazing things for that aquarium. But there's an aquarium, and there's a place called Island Farm. It's called the NC Aquarium on Roanoke Island. I believe is the actual name. And then there's Island Farm. And we went to Island Farm one time first. I'll tell you guys about that first. These are things we would do during our anniversary, like while we're there for a couple days. And we would go to Island Farm, and there was a cat there, an orange cat, and he would follow us around. And there was chickens and roosters, and me and Tyler were kind of like clucking to them and like trying to get close to them, and we loved all sorts of animals. And they had a tree which was super old, like much older than 100 years, like if not hundreds, I don't know, years old, like very old. And it had a wooden swing attached to it, and Tyler swung on it. I remember taking his picture, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, this is like, I just remember thinking to myself, like, this is a core memory. There was also a time that we went to the Outer Banks, and Tyler literally got sun poisoning because he didn't wear sunscreen, and we went out onto the beach for just for a little bit. I swear. And we both got absolutely burnt. He got sun poisoning, and it was awful. But other than that, we always came prepared. And we would go to our favorite aquarium on Manteo Island. And we would go to the aquarium, and we loved the fact that it had a leucistic alligator. We loved the fact that it had a pier. We'd always go out to the pier and take pictures together, which is the screensaver on my iPad. And we would look through the aquarium together really slow, because he knew that, like, I was the type of person, and he was the type of person where we didn't want to just look at something and then move on. Like, we really wanted to, like, take our time and, like, really look at it. And with every, like, exhibit, whether it was, like, a lizard, which, like, we both loved lizards, or, like, a snake, or I didn't like looking at the spiders, but he did. Or whatever it was, but we really loved to look. And so I really loved that Tyler never rushed me, because in the past, like, I'd always felt rushed when I was at the aquarium or anything, other than with my dad, because my dad's the same way. But we would always take our time, and there was this little puffer fish, and each year that we would go, it would get bigger and bigger, and we'd say to ourselves, like, oh, look at it growing, like, look at it go. And the aquarium's relatively small, and basically, like, you start out and there's a little alligator, and you go out to a part where there's two otters and there's turtles, and there was an axolotl or something, and there was salamanders, and then there's the leucistic alligator to your right. And the leucistic alligator was the first thing that Tyler and I said, like, wow, to, because of how rare it is and or uncommon. And honestly, at this point, I'm not sure who, like, I miss him, because like thinking about this story, like, I miss him so much, because I don't know who else would go through that aquarium and be like, oh, look at the leucistic alligator. Like, he was just smart. He just got things. And we just clicked, and we would go there and we would see the alligator, and he would look at the turtles and the salamanders, and we would move on, look at the fish, and we would look at this one lobster, and he would always say that it looked like nightmare fuel, because it was this big, like, sea lobster with, like, talons and claws, and he said that it looked like nightmare fuel, and we would always laugh about it, and he would make jokes and try to make me laugh, even though he would claim that he didn't think he was funny. He would always make me laugh. And the next part would be, like, I guess you could call it childish part, where you can put your hand down and touch the stingrays and stuff like that. And we would we would always take time, and I would always take off all of my jewelry and hand it to him and be like, can you hold this? And he'd put it in his pockets because he always wore something with pockets. And I never do. So he was always able to like help me and hold my stuff. And I'd be like, can you hold this? He put it in his pocket or the pocket of his flannel because he loved wearing flannel. And the first time I ever saw him, he was wearing flannel. And we would mess around and put our hands in and touch the stingrays and stuff like that. And also at Island Farm, they had like these cows and they had like different animals and stuff. And like Tyler was the type of person where he would stand there with you and look and watch and pay attention and like genuinely care. He loved animals. And there's another super special place I'll tell you about also in the Outer Banks was the Pea Island bird sanctuary that we would go to while we were on our trips there as well. And we both had binoculars. So I still have 2 sets of binoculars in the closet. And I haven't used mine since because I hate that there's 2 sets, but there are. And we would go to Pea Island, and I would always follow him, so I'd always be behind him, so I would always be able to take a picture or take a video and then catch up to him and hold his hand. And we'd go to see the tundra swans because originally we went because my family, my mom and my stepdad, we all went. And we saw the tundra swans, and me and Tyler thought that it was incredible because it is incredible. And so we would purposefully try to go during my birthday, which is in December, because I would want to see the tundra swans at the bird sanctuary because I really love birds, as y'all know, or as most of you might know. I really love birds to the point that I'm trying to make a bird guide. And so all of that really stemmed from all the time that I spent with Tyler going to Pea Island and like collecting data in my mind of like, oh, there's all these different birds and like birds migrate and all of this stuff clicking in my mind, and just me becoming like me falling in love with like birds, and him too, him just loving how the tundra swan looks and how they act and what we can see, and oh, look at this, oh, look at that. And let's see, our goal, well, my goal was to go to every lighthouse there. And shortly I learned that I was terrified of lighthouses because of the height. Because we climbed a lighthouse all the way to the top, where they had the light, and like I said, I was clinging on to him, scared. But he wasn't scared of anything. He always made me feel reassured. He always made me feel safe. He always made me feel like things were gonna be okay, and that things were gonna be all right, and everything's gonna work out, and XYZ. And also, so I'm getting sidetracked. Let's see, on this trip we would ride bikes together as well. And I remember he was such a better bike rider than me, obviously, but he would always be in front of me, and like the place that we stayed, it had bikes that you could just take and you could just go around, and we'd always go and get ice cream. And there was even a time that Tyler came when it was me and my dad, my biological dad, and my little sister, and like that trip I'll never forget because we went to Kitty Hawk, which is where they flew the first plane. and it's a bunch of sand dunes and it's super hilly, and we went out there. We went to Kitty Hawk Kites beforehand, and my little sister picked out like the perfect kite for her and picked out the kite of like a seagull. And we took it out to Kitty Hawk, and um, none of us knew what we were doing. I don't know how to fly a kite. I didn't know how to fly a kite. My dad didn't know how to fly a kite. But Tyler knew how to fly a kite. And so I remember getting to watch, and I took on my phone, I took pictures, and I took video of Tyler teaching Bella how to fly that seagull kite. And um the other day, like, I was told like Bella was crying, like she had like the kite out and was crying, and like his absence is so big, and its impact has been so great. Like, it's been so big. Um, and he did so much for the people around him. And on that trip, he taught Bella how to fly a kite. And ever since that, she loved flying kites. And um, he just, like, I remember taking a video, and there was a TikTok trend at the time where it was like some sort of sound from Up or something, or it was like da 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 da, like I don't know how to do it or whatever. And I remember it was like, put this over your favorite memory or something, and I put it over that video because that's still to this day one of my favorite memories of him. Um, and during, let's see, anything else is that we went to a wild horse tour we went to see Corolla, like the wild horses, where you have to take a four-wheel sand vehicle to get to like the island. You can't get there with a vehicle. Like, you have to go with certain vehicles. Taylor Swift stayed there one time apparently. And there we saw wild horses, and I remember like just the excitement and like the happiness of like, oh my gosh, look at that, and getting a million pictures, and us both having our binoculars, and me getting to see cormorants, which is my favorite bird, us going out onto the pier. We liked to fish, but we never did saltwater fishing, and truthfully, I've never even caught anything, so he was the only one that knew anything about how to fish, but we still enjoyed doing it. And yeah, so I bring up the Outer Banks because that's normally where I would be, and that's where I was for so many years this time. Um, and so it is a bit, I don't know. I battle a lot with, I don't know what's called, I don't know if it's called, what exactly it is. I need to ask, probably should ask my therapist, but like derealization, de, de, like, like when you hurt so much that you leave the situation type thing. Like, I battle with that really badly because like I'll fade in and out of like feeling everything and then like going to nothing real quick and then it coming back. And it's like these moments of like just kind of like going somewhere else. I don't know. And so that's how I've been feeling, genuinely. And I know a lot of you guys have said, thank you guys to the mods. Thank you guys for listening. And basically I just wanted to come on because I haven't spoken on the subject this week because I just didn't want to make the post. I have it written out. I had it written out. I was gonna post it. I put it in my notes app, like, and fate passed away, and I'll post what I was gonna say. But essentially, I'm gonna be honoring him tomorrow, and I'm just in a place where I would like to take it back to just taking it day by day, because that's honestly all I feel that I can handle right now. And um, truthfully, um, it's just another reason that, like, just one more reason that I haven't posted is that, like, truthfully, I don't want to hear it. I don't, like, you have to understand. I know that if I put something up, it gives the opportunity for my heart to be targeted directly. And in my head, I'm like, why bring more hurt upon myself? Or why, like, that's kind of how I feel sometimes. And I've learned to keep some emotional things to myself, but for the most part, I'm trying to be more open and honest. And that's why, like, with Fate's passing, I just wanted to come on. Obviously, I was going to come on anyway. Well, or maybe not, but and just verbally let you guys know what I've been feeling and story time of my marriage. And like, yeah, so thank you so much for thank y'all. Editor, thank you so much. I'm looking at the chat. Thank you, Kyla. Y'all, thank you. And it's kind of, yeah, mods, first of all, you guys are amazing, because, like, I can see in the corner of my eye things going on, but, like, I'm not looking, because, like I said, I don't want to, I'm to a point where I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, but I do understand that putting something out there means that people have freedom of speech to say whatever they want. I do understand that. I'm a logical human being, but when it comes to certain things, I can't listen to it anymore. So, and I know that y'all understand, and I love you guys so much, literally back. And I know that you guys accept me as I am, just like Fate, just like my husband did and everyone else. And that's why I come on here, and I appreciate everyone just listening to me, pretty much. So thank you. So I just wanted to share those memories and share what I'm going through, share what's to come tomorrow, because genuinely, I just want to skip tomorrow as a whole. I don't even want tomorrow to happen. I don't want May 4th to even happen, because I don't want to go through May 4th, without him. And that's how I feel. And what I mean by, I don't want to hear it is I don't want to hear it from people who have things to say to me that are absolutely heinous and rude. I can't listen to it anymore. I'm sick of it. And so it's made me almost limit the things that I say. But that's no more. So know that I'm going to continue to be transparent. If it makes you uncomfortable, so am I. If it makes you uncomfortable, there's many people who are not only in my shoes, because I'm literally in support groups, but there's a lot of people who have had sudden loss, or had tragic loss, or have lost people that they love. And Everyone's grief is different, and not everyone shares their grief. I'm here to share my grief so that I can help other people. And that's my ultimate goal, basically, to help other people, and for the people who think to themselves that they're too much, or that they're not enough, or that they don't belong here, or that things would be better. Like, for the people who look in the mirror and they're upset, or the people who feel like they're not meant to be here or anything like that. Like, I'm here to tell you, like, that's not true. That's not true at all. And that, and for the people who are dealing with grief and stuff, I cry with you and I empathize with you. And no, not every day is, like people say in my comments who get it, like, not every day is just, the one short or two shorts that I'm posting to you guys. And so I'm not always showing, every aspect of what's going on, but at the same time, it's my healing journey, and as I say to everybody, your healing journey is yours alone. Yours alone. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what someone has to say to me. It doesn't matter what somebody wants to do to me. It doesn't matter what somebody wants to say about me. I have to go to sleep at night. I have to find a way to close my eyes and go to sleep at night. And so at the end of the day, I don't have time for the outside stimuli to disrupt any sort of healing that I'm going through. And I encourage that for anyone who's dealing with extreme grief, who perhaps has negativity also surrounding them too. Not just negativity, but any negativity in any capacity. I urge you to just simply grieve the way you grieve. And one thing that I know for certain is that life is completely fragile. Life is fragile. You do not know when it's going to be the last day. You don't. In 1 year, I've unfortunately have to live through it twice. But you do not realize when the last day is going to be. And so when I say at the end of my life, like, tell the people you love them. Tell the people that matter to you that they matter to you. Say what you're gonna say. You do not know when that last conversation is gonna be, or when that last good talk is gonna be, or when that last hug is gonna be. You don't know. And Fate was here yesterday and I didn't get to see her. And if I would have known my last real conversation with my husband was my last real conversation with him, like, there were so many, like, I would have said so many things, but you don't know. That's the thing. You'll never know. So be mindful. And I know, but what I do know is that life is fragile. And what I mean by that is that there's a quote where it's like, how can something be there and then not be there? And that's what I mean. Like, it's like one day something's there, the next day something is not. Life isn't guaranteed. It's fragile. And none of us know the timeline of who governs above. We don't know. And so, yeah. Dalton, I love you so much. Dalton's my brother. And I love you so much, Dalton, for being here. And I just want you to know I love you so much. And thank you for being here. And thank you for being unconditional and loving me in the dark. All of you guys, all the mods, everybody, I love you guys. And I just wanted to share this. So I don't want to drag this on. I know it's been 15 more minutes. But this was an update, and I will not. I I don't know if I'm gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna post tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna post tomorrow. I don't know. I have a video that I'd want to share, but I really don't feel like being on my phone tomorrow, and I don't feel like being on social media. I want to shut my phone off. I don't want anyone to call me. I don't want anyone to text me. Like, I just want the day with my mom and some peace so I can breathe. That's all I want. So I'm not post. Likely not posting tomorrow, just so y'all know. But I will be posting like the tribute post when I can write it, a proper one. So yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for just listening to me, because honestly, I come on here because I just need you. Like, I just need y'all to listen, to be honest. And sometimes that means everything to somebody, and for me, that means everything. So I love you guys. And honestly, I feel like I need a vacation. Like, I need the beach. Like, I need the beach more than ever. So, Mama, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all the mods. You guys are amazing. Trey, I'm just grieving, and I'm just thinking out loud, talking out loud. Thank you for all the prayers and everything. It really means a lot to me, and especially during a time where I literally need it. Like, it means a lot to me, and I want to show up for you guys just as much as you show up for me, which is why, period, end of discussion. If you're in the comments and anything's going on, I will literally type you a book. I like my friendship styles, pure reciprocation. So I want to be there for y'all just as much as you're there for me, and I just want you guys to know that you guys like actually mean so much to me, and give me purpose. And that is such a powerful thing. So I love you guys, and thank you so much. Very happy Mondays. Thank you, Dalton. You are literally, Dalton, like, I can't. I love you so much. And my dream beach used to be the Outer Banks, but San Diego at this point. I'd want to go to San Diego. But yeah, I love you guys. I'm going to get off, and thanks for listening to me as always. Any prayers I really would appreciate. And I will check back in with you guys on Sunday, likely. Sunday or maybe Monday. I don't know. See how I'm feeling. So the last thing is that you guys probably noticed that I changed my nails. I have a mushroom, a bee, and a daisy. So quick flash of the nails, and yeah, I'm getting off. So probably the next thing is me coming back on live in a couple of days. So I love you guys, and thank you for sending love to my mom too, right? Because my mom is also like, we've all experienced a loss, and so my mom is also completely cut up, and it's not like I'm the only one crying. We're all crying. And yeah, so thank you to the absolute amazing mods. Like, when I say you guys are amazing, you are amazing, and I don't know what I would do without you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I love you. Thank you, Buttercup. Hi, Donna. I didn't know you were on here. Okay, guys, I'm getting off. Good night. I'm going to wind down, take a deep breath. I'm going to sit outside in my rocking chair. It's almost golden hour here. It's 6:57. Maybe I'll see a hummingbird. And one last thing. A lot of my friends have been reaching out to me because they know that I'm about to hit this milestone, and someone sent me this and said, thinking of you. And I just thought that this was absolutely, like, literally, like, pure serotonin, the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. So this is going to go up in the backyard. Yeah. I just wanted to show you guys that. So I love you guys. And yeah, thank you, Sarah, for saying he'll come visit. I hope I do see him. All right. I love you guys, and I'm going to get off. Bye. And thank you for listening again. I know I've said that a million times, but thank you. All right, bye, y'all. I'll talk to you guys in a few days. And also, I see that there was a super thanks. Thank you to whoever sent the $2 super thanks. I see that up there. I love you guys, and good night. Thank you for listening. I love you.